Hello and welcome to Mia the Passion Muse Show. We're in a mini-series called Feminine Beauty Awakening, and in this series I've asked 12 other ladies besides myself to speak on what feminine beauty awakening means to them to help waken the feminine within us. And with me is Gayle. Welcome, Bonnie.
Hi.
Bonnie is the co-creator of Sex and Yes Butter. Those are two different butters, creams, and she'll get into that. She's also the creator of her programs called Body Liberation. So, first of all, share with us briefly your journey so women can understand that no matter what path they're on, they can come to the same feminine empowerment that you found.
Oh, absolutely. I did not always look and feel like I do today. I grew up being a complete tomboy. I was extremely unhappy as a kid. I was a fighter, and I didn't ever feel like I won my father's love. So I was always trying to compete with my brothers for it, and that's probably why I was a tomboy. And as I got older, I felt completely uncomfortable in my skin. I remember I was like 9 or 10 years old when I started developing. And I used to wear a windbreaker to school every day because my mom bought me this bra and I didn't want anybody to know that I had this ugly bra on because I didn't even want to have boobs. And so I had body image issues from a pretty young age that I can remember. And then when I was like 14 years old, I had a stalker that was after me that would tell me all of these sexual things he was going to do to me. And so he scared the heck out of me. This was all via phone, and the police would not do anything about it because he had never actually touched me, and I didn't know who he was. And then at the age of 16, I got date raped. And so that, and a combination of losing the ability to run because I got injured too many times, I really went into like a deep depression, and I literally started eating myself into a lethargy. And I gained like 65 pounds in 1 year. And then somebody said to me, you know, Bonnie, you're a really pretty girl. However, if you don't lose this weight, you're never going to. And I went home and I got on the scale and I was in shock. And I remember I was like blaming my family and everybody like, why didn't you tell me? And I felt so ugly. I wanted to kill myself. I was just miserable. And I went on a diet and that didn't work. And I went on every kind of diet you could ever imagine that was extreme. And nothing worked. And I ended up learning about bulimia, and just to kind of show you where I was mentally, I thought it was a good idea to eat and throw up so that I wouldn't have to gain any of the weight. And so I started on that path, and basically at the age of 28, I almost died. At the time, I was about 30 pounds heavier than I am today. So even the bulimia wasn't working. And when I finally decided to get help, it took me, till I was 29 to decide. And then I literally was like so ready and open that I really started on the healing path right away. And I started helping a lot of other people. And, after a few years, I was not happy with my body image though. Like I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't like the way I looked. I hated my thighs, especially, I felt like they were so cellulite ridden. And I didn't know what to do. And I got involved in the healing arts when I was about 39 years old. And what I realized is that I didn't think I was beautiful. And if I didn't think I was beautiful, how was my body going to show its beauty? And so when I got into healing arts, what I didn't know was that I was going to end up healing myself. And that's what ended up happening. And after doing some research a few years ago, because I've been talking to women about intimacy because of these products that we develop, which are organic and healing and amazing, people would like literally turn their heads down and walk away, and I didn't understand why. And what I came to find out is that 80 to 90% of women hate their bodies and they're completely self-loathing. And I thought, oh my God, I never expected to go back into this work, but what I realized is I could actually help people. And so this was like my feminine awakening was kind of like coming back into things that I'm really passionate about and things that really will help a lot of people.
That's beautiful. Thank you for opening up and sharing. I love that you and I have a similar early path regarding the stalker and the date rape, because that is very powerful in guiding us women into early adulthood and into our adolescence and into our 30s, and how we handle communication with other people, and because of our body and our body image. So that's why this segment we're discussing yes butter, sex butter, and body liberating, and also sexual healing, because it all comes together to empower us women to move forward. And many women are touched in inappropriate ways, and catcalled, whistled, and some of that's okay, but you have to be healthy within yourself before you can appreciate true, positive feedback from the male. So.
Exactly, and not only that, a lot of times, and most of the times, it starts from the time somebody's a child.
Yes,
and so when that happens, being a woman, becoming a woman, is a scary thing.
It can be, yes. Well, being an adult, period, for men too, it's very frightening. It's not just for women, but we're discussing women. But yes, you're right, absolutely right. So share with us yes butter and also sex butter. They're the same components but have a slightly different healing element. Would you like to share the genius behind it? You're off screen a little bit. You're off screen a little bit. There.
We can't see it too much here.
Right.
Can you see it now? Okay.
We can just see butter.
This is yes butter.
Right. There we go. And I'm sorry, your information will be on at the end, so everyone don't get too excited here, because you'll be able to actually see it on Thing in the World can happen to you, and your inner voice will pop out and correct it. I've had so many instances in the last year alone since I started teaching this that it makes me giggle with pride. I would like to share a little one, and I'd like you to share one of yours, Bonnie, if that's okay.
Sure.
I recently decided to pick up the path of, but being totally committed to myself, making it my full-time job of me, because here I teach self-love, and I teach women to learn to re-love themselves and re-raise their inner child. And I was doing that, although I wasn't doing it to my physical body. I thought I was, but I stopped exercising, and I stopped taking care of those little necessities that we have to in order to feel good, and I was putting on the pounds very rapidly, and I thought I was reducing. And so I took pictures of myself, my profile, the weight on the scale, which is kind of silly, but I had that in my mind. And so I started doing what I know to do since I lost 140 pounds by myself, no coach, no surgery, no nothing, in only 7 months. I reminded myself I can do it. So this past week I started again, and when I was at the gym the second day, I was on the treadmill, and I thought, I am not going to make it here. And I was only on the treadmill. I was moving pretty fast, though. And I started talking to myself. As a writer, I write things in my head. And so I talked to myself that way. And I started laughing. And I thought, you silly goose. This is what you teach people, and listen to your own inner voice. And all of a sudden, it may sound ridiculous, but my inner self came through into my body, and I winked like that. And I went, oh my gosh, I'm talking to myself. And the messages that come out are so powerful when it comes from within out, and it's love, and you can actually hear yourself because you've re-raised yourself. When you hear yourself say, I love you, Mia, you feel such amazing growth and miraculous healing. And of course, it wouldn't be I love you, Mia, to you. It would be I love you to your own name. Would you share a little experience of yours? That was just a little tiny one that happened this week.
Yeah.
For me.
Sure. I mean, I believe that self-love is a daily practice. Mm-hmm. And if we forget one day, things can come up that will change things. So I was just gone for 2 weeks. And before I was gone, I was working like a slave. And I do mean a slave. I mean, and it was my own thing that was making me do that. It wasn't anybody whipping me or telling me I had to or anything like that. And I was literally working from like 8 o'clock in the morning till like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And what I did is I stopped working out, I stopped doing my yoga, I stopped doing the self-care things that I needed to do for me. And I burnt out, and I didn't feel good, and I didn't look good at all. And so what I committed to myself before I went on my trip was, that's it, starting on this trip, you are going to take time to yourself, you are going to start doing something, even if it's yoga, even if it's stretching, I don't care what it is, but you're going to start doing something at least a few times a week, and you are not going to work, 15 to 18-hour days anymore. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Right.
And when I went away, I started to feel better, and I started doing stretching, and I've been doing yoga, and I feel so much different, and it already shows. Like, I can see it in my face. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing.
And it's your inner self that guided you to that, which is what we're talking about, the self-love, the self-growth, and all that. Wonderful. Now, we're going to, because Bonnie next week is going to be interviewed on national television
or the week after, I'm not sure yet.
Or the week after, regarding sexual pleasures. So we wanted to also bring up, which is part of the work that I do with my women, is they do take a date night for themselves alone. We don't need, it's wonderful to have a partner, but we don't need a man in our life, or a woman, depending on our sex origin. We don't need a person there to make us happy. So teaching yourself how to have amazing dates, and part of that is I tell them to finish it with their intimacy that they would like, and that means self-pleasure. So, and no, they don't report into me, and I don't ask them, except for how did your date night go, not the details. So the thing that we would like to share right now is that sex is healthy, it's healing, it gets your adrenaline going, your oxytocin flowing. There's so much connection between yourself, and even more with you and a partner. But you have to learn it with yourself first before you can be that open vessel that has its boundaries and has its limits and can enjoy in a beautiful manner. So, on to sexual healing.
Absolutely. And I want to make another point about that, is that if you don't know yourself and you don't know your body, how do you expect your partner
on to the sexual healing.
This is my favorite part.
I know, mine too. It's funny because as women, you and I both love to teach people self-love, but we also love to share with others how to release, as far as don't be ashamed, don't be embarrassed, enjoy your body and enjoy your partners. It's all part of being a woman who stands within her power, because we can make men feel like it's the first time every time if we're within our full power.
Absolutely. Honestly, I'm going to say I have had the most amazing orgasms, multi-orgasms since I've been using this product. Better than when I was 20 or 30.
Well, we're more mature and we know our bodies. Oh, but still.
No, but I'm in menopause, and you know what? My body isn't the same as it used to be naturally. And this product has changed my whole sex life. I mean, literally. I was somebody who pretty much knew my body at the age of 35 because I was very sexual for a long time, and it was something that was important to me. Mm-hmm. But when I went into perimenopause, my body completely changed. Overnight, it shut down on me. And since using this product, I mean, I've had the most amazing intimate times with myself and partners, and it's changed my whole world. And not only that, it has opened me up in ways that I never even thought possible. I mean, I used to be a shy girl. Now I'm going on public television talking about, and nobody knows this yet, self-pleasure. That's what my topic is.
I think that's
beautiful. And I remember when they called me and asked me if I would be open to do this, I didn't even hesitate. I was like, yes. Absolutely. And so they interviewed me for an hour. I was interviewed by 2 producers asking me, questions so
I
that
love
they could
that.
see what I was going to respond.
I love that.
And it was just amazing. I felt like I was on top of the world in the middle of an organic farm in New York.
Wow. That's wonderful. Yeah. I think that it's so amazing when, as women, when we're noticed for that part of our beauty, because we're all beautiful, and when we're in touch with it and we can express it and the world sees it and reaches out to us, what better way to express ourselves?
Not only that, then you have the inner glow,
Yeah.
which appears outward.
Exactly.
And, you know, if you see people walking down the street, there are very few people that have that glow. And when you have that glow, people are attracted to you. And I'm not even just saying sexually, like
Right.
they're drawn to you, but they don't really know why.
Well, it's a glow, it's a light we carry. Yeah, and it's beautiful. So, there are many ways for sexual pleasure, along with the use of sex butter. There's our brain as our largest sex organ, and so to be able to play in a manner of creating a stimulating environment is the way in which, ladies, I would recommend that you search yourself. There's ways to loosen you up if you're not that way. I interviewed over 1,000 men when I was dating for a book I was writing, and it was in order to get to know what men think of women and in the dating and sexual realm. And I found out that most women from these men were not experiencing women who were the lioness, the tigress, you know, the ones who wanted to pounce and enjoy. And that's really what a man does, or likes. Very few of them take action. They'll take action, but it's not in the seductive way. And that's what us ladies are all about. We're the seducer, the seductress, the goddess, the divine. Any word, whether you like it or not, it's who we truly are. So there's games to play, and I'm not talking about games of emotional games, but I'm talking about sexual games. I brought out something just now that I keep by my nightstand for fun, and in my home in LA, I put it on my bookshelf in my office. And it's a truth or dare game. And there's things like this that you can pull out and just enjoy what they say with your partner for fun, for sex, for even just a little laugh. And I'd like to just share one because it might spur Bonnie and I onto another topic for you ladies. Would you like truth or dare?
How about dare?
Dare, okay. Cover your eyes with a blindfold or scarf and lie down. Then guess the body part I'm touching you with your mouth. So that means that your mate is putting something over your mouth.
That's great.
Isn't
That's
that great?
awesome. I love it.
I do.
You know, it's so funny because I was just at the airport, and next to the terminal I was at,
As
there was
well
a spa.
as there are many other things that are not that are different that we can use for playtime.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So I was at the same place, and I also bought a satin blindfold. And I was like, wow, you know, I'm at the airport. This is like hot. Like, I don't even have to go into a sex store to buy fun, playful things
Right.
that I use, you know, for sex play. And to me, that's really cool because, you know what, I'll tell you, I like going into sex stores once in a while, but it's not like my thing. I'm not like one of those people like, let's go into a sex shop.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's nice that you can go other places and you can improvise with different things and you can find different things
Right.
that are amazing to play with. You know, like a piece of fur.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
something that you can use, like a feather.
Silk ties. I got it's funny because I got a blindfold too a couple weeks ago, and silk ties. So
And silk scarves.
exactly to play with. You can tie up your man, his arms, and put the blindfold on him because when our senses are covered, one of them, the other ones become more attuned, and it's truly beautiful. I noticed on the card that I read you on the Truth or Dare, I love the truth because it's very important to what we're talking about, if I can read it.
Sure.
Tell me the erogenous zone you'd like me to play with and pay more attention to. this shows us that we must be interactive with our partner. We must speak up for ourselves. We must honor ourselves enough to say, I like it this way, I like it that way. If you do it in a loving manner, nobody is hurting anybody. We're learning about each other to create amazing moments together.
Well, you also have to be able to say what you don't like. You know, that's
Right.
really important too.
Exactly.
Like, to be able to feel open enough to let your partner know that not everything is okay with you, and if something is scary,
Right.
to let them know that too. Because, you know, to me, the best lovemaking comes from two partners who have amazing communication.
Yes, who want to be there doing exactly that. Communicating, sharing, enjoying, nurturing, loving, and the list goes on.
Exactly.
This is, as you can tell,
Look at you
we
with that
love.
little smug
I know,
face.
I know. I'm trying not to flirt with the camera, but we're talking about sex. You know, how can I not?
Exactly.
So, this has been a wonderful segment. Thank you so much, Bonnie.
Oh,
and
thank you.
and it's gone by too fast. And this is just a taste for you ladies of what life can look like for you if you're interested in reaching all the elements of self-love and appreciation for yourself, which is part of your true womanhood. And Bonnie and my information will be on the credits, and you can reach either one of us if you have questions. We'd both love to share any information, knowledge, experience with you. So thanks again, Bonnie, for joining us, and have a blast on your interview.
Thank you. I look forward to it. And
Awesome.
Thank you so much. This has been such a fun interview.
It has been. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you. All right, we're out, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.